Figure it out on camera.
Yeah, welcome back to Bo's Happy Hour, everybody once again. Obviously, friend of the show, Will Finnegan, aka Fin Titties, aka my former slave, is back in the hot seat.
Slave, butler, and art curator. I actually sold a piece of art a couple months ago. So
Yeah,
good slave if you get it.
Well, no. So here's what it was. We'll rerun the backstory real quick because not that anybody does a deep dive in any of the episodes, but
Oh, they will.
yeah. Anyway, though, so we were at a friend's wedding, and I had never met Will at that time, and it was a friend of ours from the Marine Corps, and he had just like lost his apartment, or he's just kind of just down on his luck, so couch surfing or doing any of that stuff. So I was like, all right, there, Devil Dog, you can stay at my place, but at 8 o'clock in the morning, your shit needs to be cleaned up and act as though it goes back to being a couch, and you go fucking spend 8 hours a day outside of the apartment, Monday through Friday. And then eventually he started to get his shit together, got some money coming in, started kicking up rent. Then he went from slave to butler, a la vis-a-vis fucking, what's it called? Seinfeld. At Monk's.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not the exact same thing, but we got the idea of butler status from there. Because
Right.
previously he was a pig in a sniper platoon and a terminal lance corporal, so it's not like he was used to getting bossed around for the entirety of his Marine Corps career, so he kind of just filled that role. So manservant, but slave sounds better, and since the first slaves in America were Irish, figured it's a little homage, and nobody gives a fuck if I enslave a white man.
No.
No.
So how the story goes in my mind?
It's progressive.
It's 2018, and I returned to New York from California, working on a weed farm. And Bo had just got into Colombia, and we're out to lunch one day, and Bo's face turns red, and it turns out he's having a kid, a beautiful daughter, which he went to visit in Boston yesterday. And Bo's face turns red. He says, "You want a fucking place to stay? Well, you got a fucking place to stay. I gotta go back to work." So yeah, I started as slave. I wasn't really doing anything with my life. I was trying to get some
Well,
businesses going, and then the rest is history.
That doesn't sound exactly right, only for the fact that I thought you were living at my place before that. You must have been.
2018, right when you started school, you had that kid.
No, I got the bitch pregnant in September. You would already have been staying here because you were also here. Were you here when JK came to visit?
Oh yeah.
Well, then
I
you
was
were
here in
already
September.
fucking living here, bitch.
I don't think so.
Yes, you were, motherfucker.
He
Either
wasn't
way,
here when I was here.
I'm not gonna
Correct.
bemoan the point. And Sarah jumping into Peanut Gallery. We don't have the what do you call that? The live studio audience, because little Joe, he's passed out. Thank God. Sarah, if you don't mind though, can you grab my phone? I only got 4 or 5% on the motherfucker, but
That's the first time I'll hear that.
well, I don't know what you're talking about, but friend of the show, buddy of mine, Connor, he sent me a musical song to play for the show. And I mean, this could be a new thing that I'm bumping into, you know, like adding little things of content. Because we still have yet to hit the elusive hour of Bo's Happy Hour. So here we go. All right. It's called... Actually, I think it's kind of on brand for the show.
Perfectly.
Yeah.
You're gonna get copyright. We do not hold the rights or copyrights, but isn't there a disclaimer you need?
Oh yeah. Maybe me talking over it helps, but the transplants, I don't think they're like probably gunning for people, but they're on Spotify. So that's Tall Cans in the Air by the Transplants. And if I do have to mute it, because say lovey, oh fuck, I'm jacking it all up. So that's Connor Murphy sending that song in. Also, Bo's HH at gmail.com if you want to write into the show. BEAUXSHH at gmail.com. But I'll get to that later. Talk Mass. Oh, not like fucking Mass, but went up to go see my daughter, my youngest, Nora, up in Massachusetts. I mean, I don't want to say anything negative about the trip because there was a couple hiccups along the way. But all in all, I'm just going to focus on the most beautiful thing was the time I got to spend with my daughter. I mean, we went out on Saturday to Brendan Garrity's 4-year-old daughter was having her birthday party. He lives just outside of Boston, in a little town called Randolph. And we show up. He looks like a Baldwin, you know, like Alec, like the handsome motherfucker, not Steven or all that type of jazz. And he's got 6 brothers. His dad was fucking rich. I mean, his whole family was, I guess. It's like hanging out with like a lesser tier Kennedy type of deal, except they weren't out in Hyannisport. He actually married fucking Jim Webb's daughter. I can't remember her name right now, but she was a narcissist, and she'll never watch this show, and I'm on Team Garrity. So anyway, fun story about him. I was at the wedding gift I got him, so I do the portraits for friends. I was like, how? His wife's Italian,
Okay.
right, Marissa, and it's like, how do I join these two cultures together artistically and with a little bit of fun?
Gaelic and garlic.
Gaelic and garlic. Oh, I like that. That's cute. I'll have to send that to him. No, but I ended up taking the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, right? And then I slapped on Mario's face.
Oh, that one.
And then I put a G instead of the M. And then his family's big Democrats. So it was the time of the Obama portrait. So I put a bunch of flowers all over the place, and I hid all these little Easter egg Mario little characters, you know, so it's like active, and it was supposed to represent his, I guess now, daughter. He ended up having a little girl. So
To Garrity.
to the Garrity's, yeah. Saw his mother, she's lovely, and ended up like chopping it up with a bunch of different people. And I mean, that's the thing, this education at Columbia, man, I learned how to speak liberal fluently, because I mean, there was all sorts of motherfuckers there, from like a few alternative type couples, right? Couple lesbian mothers with kids, some mixed race children, some fucking Indians.
I got told to vaccinate my son.
Yeah, like that. Yeah, we almost get, but they were respectful about it.
Yeah,
Like,
they were
'cause
nice.
the way we pushed back on vaccinating our kid, or haven't yet, they were just, yeah, you know, some people just don't do that, you know. Because I remember when we were at the hospital over on 57th Street, because Joe's a fucking born and bred New Yorker, you know.
Amen.
The nurse comes in, day 2, he's alive, or not alive, out of the womb, and she's like, I feel like a bad nurse because I didn't offer you the hepatitis B vaccine for your son. I'm like, well, now I think you are a bad nurse. I was like, isn't the only way you can get that is through intravenous drug use with prostitutes? And she's like, yes. Like, I called her on it, and then I was like, well, he ain't gonna get into that until he's at least 3 or 4, so we can wait on that, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I also noticed, actually prior, all those fucking nurses were cunts to me. Every goddamn one. They were just, except for the nurse who was helping with the birthing process. She was cool.
Oh, she was, and you were asleep. She came back and visited me and held Joe.
Yeah, oh, cute.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind popping in, saying hi to her, because she was cool.
She was
But
so
all
nice.
the other bitches, they fucking hated me. Now, to be fair, I thought maybe I'm just being sensitive, but then I also think of how I look. You know, it's like I look like everything they hate. This is, you know, Midtown West, New York City. It's like I'm the type of guy, like, fuck, it's funny because I was kind of wrap this up into like a type 5 or something like that for the cellar, but you know, it's just like I don't know what it's like to be black, but I know what it's like to scare old Jewish women on the street. And I'm not even talking about hailing a cab. I'm just saying, like, they just look at me and they start to shake a little bit.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm just moving like a fucking,
With purpose.
yeah, exactly.
Guy moving with purpose.
Yeah, I'm a predator, if you will. not in like a bad kind of predator.
And it's not resting bitch face, it's what?
Oh, resting dick face,
Resting
I think.
dick.
Like I got, like, and Sarah was even complimenting my eyes or the lack of wrinkles around them. Like
The
my
crow's
crow's feet are tight because I just like tighten my eyes like this, like, so it doesn't branch out. And that's not me trying to be vain. It's just the way I zero in and when I want to fucking hurt somebody.
So what type of people become nurses, and how are they?
Bitchy sluts.
No, I wouldn't say bitchy sluts. They're bitchy
What
sluts.
everyone.
You find a bitchy slut at a coffee shop.
No,
what
I mean,
kind of person becomes
No.
a nurse, and how
A lot
are
of strippers
they? Okay.
and a lot of
you
travel.
know what?
It's strippers and traveling nurses are one and the same. And I'm not saying this from
I
being
bet
above
you.
it because it's just that's my demographic for who I've dated, present company included. So
I
and you know I'm
like
not
to
wrong.
think.
And you
No,
just
no,
call
no,
them bitches
no,
and
no,
sluts.
no.
Kettle
I-
How's that go?
Say again.
You went on a rant over the summer about how the medical and pharmaceutical industry has the nurses that work there, and how they're just goaded and guided by that industry. It was beautiful.
Pharmaceutical sales in general, that's like that's like prostitution.
Yes.
Everybody's either a really good-looking guy and or girl,
Yeah.
and it's I don't know if they close the sale with alternative methods, but I wouldn't be above it or below it. I wouldn't mind being below it,
Right.
you know. But anyway, I didn't feel I was very welcome there, but the care for the child, everything was cool. We kind of kept them in house most of the time, but I mean I think we're kind of repeating old shit there. But Massachusetts, back to that. When I first saw my daughter, she gave me a fucking minute-long tight hug. Like it was, felt amazing. I mean, sadly, it's like I haven't seen her in a while, and it's just a couple different reasons. One, I've been poor for the longest, and then two, like when I had these breaks from school. Well, also school was just the whole fucking thing. And when we had these breaks for school, like her mom was going down to Texas to visit her boyfriend and stuff, and so it's just like there was just a difficult time for overlapping schedules. But either way, went up to fucking Massachusetts, had a time and a half, and apparently her mother had a ticket to a Post Malone show in Hartford. Showed me the set list afterwards. He was kind of heavy in his new album. Said it was an amazing show, best she'd ever been to.
Okay.
And so I got to just have like a sleepover with my daughter, which was cool. And woke up the next day, and there was a little bit of static, just because, like, you know, being in somebody else's space, needing to get ready, things of that nature. And but went out. I did this dope fucking drawing with chalk on the driveway with her. I mean, big as shit. It was just kind of us like she wanted to pick apples out of a tree.
Okay.
So I made a big ass tree, apple, made some fucking abominations to God as far as animals were concerned. Like she wanted a cat, squirrel, like a dog squirrel or something, like just different weird animals, you know, like.
I mean, you drew Kanye pretty spot on over here on the wall.
Yeah.
You drew animals pretty well.
Well, I gotta push back against that, man. That guy, he's a fashionista, a fascist, if you will. I mean, he brought back anti-Semitism in a big way. It's like, I never understood his music until later. It's like, he's always been too far ahead of me. It's the only place where I guess he was catching up with me. But, yeah, well, while we're on the topic of anti-Semitism, there's been another wave of that. We'll just talk Middle East real quick with the, what I find interesting. I mean, besides for the whole pager situation that was going on, which I actually, you know, it's kind of a mixed bag because I've heard two sides of the argument. The one side is, it's like, that's a very targeted hit, and anybody who's carrying those pagers is a fucking terrorist, right? So that's a pretty solid argument, and it's like you're really a targeted hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then I heard the other side of the argument, and it was, yes, but who are the people that they were near? It's sort of like a indiscreet. It's like if you sent out hand grenades,
Mm-hmm.
everybody who's in the blast radius, that's terrorism. you know. But like, I mean, hey, I do not tell other people how to fight their war, and as far as I'm concerned, they could kill each other to the last man, and you know.
What a crew.
Yeah, it's just it's sad, it's interesting, and it's probably I'd say it's gonna get me canceled, but I'm not even worth a shit to even pay attention to.
They got your number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. There's probably a team like what's that Israeli intelligence unit, like something 82, Team 82. It's like their tech nerd squad, you know.
They know who you are.
Yeah. Well, I am a friend of Israel. I mean, I did beat up a bunch of pro-Palestinian protesters before I graduated from school, so I got that going for me. You see, I'm just a trickster. I like to dance on every side of the. You can't peg me down. You know.
Yeah.
You know. If they're gonna nail me to anything,
It should be
I'll
cross.
be to a cross
There
like
you
my
go.
savior. But I'll do it. I forget what apostle. He didn't want to die the same way. He didn't think he rated the same way death as Jesus, so he got crucified upside down.
All right.
I mean, I don't want to dick ride too hard, so maybe I'll go sideways.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe like also if you get crucified upside down, you might die faster because it all goes to your head.
Yeah, you bleed out. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but you think you have to hit like a jug or like an artery, then you'll bleed out quick. I don't know.
New ways or martyrdom. That's what we're looking
Yeah,
at.
these are all jokes, folks. These are all jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
You join the Marines, you get nailed to a cross sideways, you know.
Well,
Just go for it.
as a Marine, I think the newest way to die I would get I'd have them, you know what it is?
Get a vaccine.
No. No. I'll have them rig up a dildo.
A big green weenie.
A big green weenie. I'll borrow one from fucking Diddy down the street. Luckily, he's got the lubes. I heard they got like a couple thousand cases of lube or something like that. At his
Body
property.
oil.
So I'll send the dildo to the Mossad to get it wired up, and then I'll get blown up.
So something that's been on my mind for about 2 months now. Whenever I come across Bo or nobody's like Bo, but similar people, all I hear about is Jews and sex trafficking. Not together, but usually together. And that's all I've been hearing from people that are
And
focusing on these things. It's driving me nuts.
Yeah, it's like
I don't
Alex
wanna-
Jones type thing, because the whole Epstein,
It's
that's the only two things they care about.
yeah.
Well, I know Longo, he wants to start like some sort of anti-sex trafficking military force along with trained dogs to attack people.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean,
He's got the dog thing down.
not a bad idea. But I grew up in a peaceful community on Staten Island, which is largely Italian, and it was just bliss. Why can't the world go back to that? 1990s Staten Island.
1990, just 1990s. That pre 9/11.
Yeah.
That was a magical time beforehand, you know.
Yeah, I was 16 when that kicked off on
Yeah.
Staten Island.
Was it 2001? I would 17, about to turn 18.
But if you want any updates on the Jews, you tune into Nick Fuentes. And
Oh my God.
one reason I'm friends with Bo and will always be friends with Bo is because he's got a lot of hate inside of him. It's not because of the hate, it's his research on why he hates things. He really goes into it, so he knows what he's talking about, just so the audience knows.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Way to really.
I mean, if you want to know why you're feeling a certain way about certain something, Bo 90% of the time has done all the research on it and
Well,
knows.
That's the
what
whole
issues
thing of the
are.
happy hour. It's like that. It's supposed to be sort of ironic, you know.
Yeah.
It's like I'm not supposed to be happy. I would say I'm riding the high of the weekend I spent with my daughter. That's giving me a little bit of extra chirp, and we're filming late again. And if you remember a previous episode, we heard from underneath the floor. The fucking floor trolls. They well, we're not far enough for anybody to be tunneling. So it's like. So it's like we cut the episode short, and like, all right, now I'm not being as boisterous. I'm also not nearly as in the bag as I am when I was going.
Yeah, he's all doped up right now on candy. You give this guy sugar, and he's good.
Yeah,
He's
well,
at his best.
I literally just drove in from Massachusetts.
Boyer, that floated. Boyer, his arms.
I didn't fly in, you know. I caught myself because I was going to make the same retarded mistake you just made. I said, boy, is my ass tired. Because I already got the dildo, ladies and gentlemen, but I haven't got the explosives put in yet. But I guess if you set the speeds, you know, if you were to have a vibrating one, like if you have the sodomy speed that sends you to hell, you know.
So look out for his sex toy collection coming out. Sodomy speed that sends you to hell.
Yeah. Well, that's actually good marketing.
There's buyers for that sure around here.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Think about it, man. Anyway.
I think Columbia will put them in their bookstore. They're on that slide.
Columbia, it's way too old. It's going in the local kindergartens.
Yeah.
There it is.
Okay. Anyway, that was fun. I'm gonna try to fire up my my internets so that way we could check the email, because remember, Bo talks at BEAUXSHH@gmail.com. So INGOICT. Yeah, I gave you a bunch of my password letters, so if anybody steals my computer, we can try to figure something out. Oh. So, it's more can't dead air. Keep running your fucking mouth. Figure something out.
Yeah, I was thinking something crossed my mind a moments ago, but I lost it. I was
We can't talk about not having anything to say. That's pretty fucking retarded.
Well,
AKA.
the best show ever was made all about that.
No. They didn't not say nothing. It was about nothing.
We're
but they didn't say nothing.
We're gonna one up them.
No. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, if you were my butler, Kenny's Banyan. Well, he's not Banyan, he's Kramer's friend. Joey Sacamano. Joey Sacamano? Is that his name?
Bob
Sacamano. Yeah. Oh, I'm still waiting for you to get a job from Cousin Jeffrey. So that way you could have that little house in Riverside Park.
I love
That would be fucking epic. Wait, did you give me that? You did give me my phone. Because if I have to fucking like call them like retarded.
So while we got some downtime here, I'm going to plug some other folks. Drew Tang. Drew Tang is one of the great writers of our time, a modern day Indiana Jones, if you will. Please look out for Drew Tang. That's DRUTANG.
And he's not Asian either, from what
He's
I
not
understand.
Asian. He's just a white guy.
Yeah. Well, it's the Tang last name. Like I would think maybe some sort of like, maybe even Polynesian.
Is it spelled THINGU?
No. Tang. T-A-N-G.
Oh, okay.
Wu-Tang. Drew Tang, Wu-Tang.
That
Very simple.
you hope you ran with that. Oh, fun fact. When I was up in Massachusetts, I went to what was it called? Teddy G's. Teddy G's. Place was awesome. Food was great. Really reasonably priced, but I wasn't like fucking BFE Massachusetts. So it's like you would expect not paying New York prices. And the kid, the server, looked like Farva. Like
Beautiful. Handsome.
Farva, but like a young Farva. Like he had the body, but it wasn't big enough yet. But he had the trunk and the skinny arms. You know. At the end of it, I ends up telling him. I tells him like, "Hey, I'm sure you get this all the time." But have you ever seen Super Troopers? He's like, "Yeah, of course." I was like, "You look like Farva." He's like, "I should be in for Halloween." Like he just instantly clicked in on that, and then he told me something crazy. Because he had the Farva, it was the Farva mustache. I just cut an inch off of this thing. I'm like, what the? Like, cause it was like really down below his face, like he's a fucking, like a Lorax.
Oh, yeah.
I can only imagine.
Wilford Brimley.
Yeah. All right. I got an email. Got an email?
just got
We
an
got our
email.
first fucking email.
Just go ahead and read the whole thing.
It's from Brandon Powell, lifelong friend. It says, it's titled, "You're Gay. That is all. Dot 856-449-8599.
Don't put his number out.
That's probably not his number, but maybe he threw out his number because he was looking for traffic.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a fan of anal. Yeah, well, I might as well just spill the beans because it's the show and you want to send me shit like you're gay as your little ex. Alright. This motherfucker, he is probably one of the biggest jerk-offs I've ever met in my life. I still love him. Of course, he's like my brother. To say he's my friend anymore is kind of ridiculous. Because we have different lives, we've gone on different paths. He's more of a brother than he is a friend. And biggest asshole in the world, biggest jerk to women. But women fucking love him. They love him so much that he has taken like something like 83 anal virginities. Like that's his calling card. Like he's fucking like a wet bandit or something like that. The brown bandit. But yeah, it's like that's, if I knew.
Probably 93 women have been in his butt.
I mean, potentially. Sarah was the one saying something about strapping it on. I myself, I've never really explored outside of my own digit once or twice. But I figure if I am going to marry Sarah one day, not saying don't definitely think I'm buying a ring anytime soon, but if I were to, I figure one of us has to lose virginity that night. I'll give her that on the wedding night. So that's me being progressive, I guess one could say. But with that being said, I think that was all in all a pretty good show, right? We ain't got much to say.
Yeah, about 26 minutes.
Yeah, well, this is usually the timeline. Like, it's Bo's happy hour, so I'm a liar. But we didn't do any show prep as per, and it's all just a free-flowing, extemporaneous sort of, out into the ether. And the only motherfuckers who watch this are my family, Connor Murphy, Brandon Powell.
I've not even watched the last episode.
Yeah. And this is definitely episode 9, because I went back and checked it all off, because last episode I'd labeled 8 or 9. Well, guess what? This is episode 9. Thanks for tuning in. Stay
frosty.
Well, you know what? Actually, stay liking that thing, share and subscribe. And God bless America.
No.
Kill it, Sarah. Do it correctly this time.